Sopranos picking up a little bit of the slack and boosting that rating to where you saw it there.
Yeah, we'll have to see more of the performance in game now. Let's pull up our map picks and bans. See which map we're going to be playing on. These two teams have gone back and forth on many maps, at least in their performance so far. Villa will be the one up. Oregon, again, not picked up to... I'm sure Des right now is watching this and crying his heart out. But unfortunate that Oregon is not in. Secret played this on Playday number 1 against Na'Vi. That was a tie, one of the two that they had, the second one being against Vitality. Technical map on Villa. Jess, is this the wise choice?
I think it's not a bad choice between both of these teams. We've seen Tempra have a really good adaptation on multiple maps, even fragging maps. So I am worried for Secret if Tempra throws a spanner in the works and goes, hey, we have a really random setup for this map you've never seen before. That could be really detrimental for Team Secret. So I'm leaning towards Tempra, probably winning this quite closely, however. But yeah, I'm feeling a Tempra day.
I think it's definitely worth noting that back in Challenger League, when these two teams faced each other, they did play on Villa and Tempra did win 7-3.
Huh.
So it's interesting seeing that it was the option of Team Secret at the end there. So I would give the edge to Tempra, I think, but I'm very excited to see what it is Team Secret have up their sleeve.
Well, what I would usually do in this case is listen to what Des said and just pick the complete opposite of it, because that's how things have been going. Sorry to throw you under the bus there, Mr. Holt. I know, but we gotta lay it out how it's supposed to be. We're 32 seconds in before we start. Let's have a quick look at what people think about this matchup. You can vote on all these games for going on our social media at R6 Esports EU on Twitter. Hope everybody's enjoying this, of course, in the meantime from home. Let's put up our socials. Come on, there it is. Team Secret is 47 to Tempra's 45 and a 7% draw. Pretty much the closest we've had now. I think they're the widest gap of 3%. Now it's down to 2. It's the fat-free milk. Let's send it over to our casters. Let's go Villa.
Well, let's go Villa indeed. It's our Challenger League sweethearts, isn't it, Des?
It is. Bit of a memory in this one. Has Sebi seen them play before? Tempra were the victors back then. Who knows? It's been a little bit of time now. Teams have had a lot of time to develop. So hopefully there's a different result waiting for Secret here today. But I think I've been excited by what I've seen from Tempra until the last game where I felt a little bit disappointed. But who knows? Every single day we're being surprised here. I can't get predictions right. So at this point, you may as well not bother believing a word that I say.
Yeah, I was going to say as well, you're kind of banned now from making predictions on the casting desk. Because normally they actually, back then it came through. But today you've been kind of wrong, so we're not going to be talking about that anymore. Let's talk about the match at hand, as Secret will be starting off on the attack, meaning the first ban will be going to Tempra, and they're pretty decisive about that one, as it is going to be a Maverick.
Is indeed no big surprise there. Maverick Thatcher is a very common banning pair, and we speak about it seemingly every single cast at the moment, Hap. The teams do seem to have a tendency to taking that away at the minute. It does slow the game down a little bit. We tend to see a lot of teams bringing along electrification. It's always dealt with by things like the Maverick, so it definitely comes as no big surprise. Otherwise, there have been a mixture of bans coming through on this map to follow up, but the next one coming out of the other side of Secret is going to be the Habana. We spoke about this earlier on as being the safe ranged opener. You're not having to risk yourself getting up against walls with a Thermite or a Maverick. It makes a lot of sense, but it does leave only the Thermite available, exactly the same as we saw in a game earlier on today.
Yeah, Mirrodin being removed, basically... default for the EU. However, not that much anymore. There's a lot of Mirror actually being played lately. At least it feels like definitely a lot more than we had compared to previous seasons. And the Pulse I kind of like that as well. Of course, it's a very vertical map. You have 3 different sites you can go to, the 3 different floors you can go to. Excuse me. So a lot of information can be gained right there from that one Pulse player. So removing that will definitely take out a lot of the info game.
Absolutely will. Straight away, we're seeing Draven hovering over onto the Iana. It's been one of his go-to picks. On Oregon especially, we've seen it coming out there. So not surprised to see it being translated across to other maps. The Nomad, a similar story. Because as we know, this being such a massive map with 3 staircases, there is a lot of opportunity for roam play to come into the fore. And this just screams the style of play that we love seeing out of Secret. It's very controlled. It's very composed. They tackle problems as they come across them. And to me, it's all about controlling the side of Tempra, who, as I've described in the past, are a bit of a firecracker team. They like to be explosive. They like to get up in your face and cause a bit of trouble. So it's very much a clash of styles here between these two teams today.
I was going to say, it's directly the opposite of one another, as Tempra is very aggressive in the way they play. They're very dominant in the way that they take their control, while Secret is more holding back, making sure they do it right if they do it, methodically at that. They use everything necessary, and they use their strat book step by step to make sure that eventually they come to the, well, proposed end result. And that will definitely clash here. In the past, it went into the favor of Tempra. I believe, if we're checking back on Challenger League, I believe they won the first one with 7-3, then they lost on Cafe with 7-5, so the overall round differential still in favor of Tempra. It's both the same lineups, nothing has changed, only time has passed, so we can see who improved the most right here on this villa right now.
Absolutely. It's interesting to see how things have changed as the weeks have gone by. It's only been 2 weeks as the EU League so far, Hap, and already you're seeing teams changing around what expectations were. In the last game earlier, we saw from Chaos a great example. I think everyone came into that game expecting them to get dumpstered after their last few games. We're bringing it back up to be a draw. A crucial point for them. Admittedly, still only sat on 2. They're still at the bottom of the leaderboard right now, but it's a start, and at this point, I'm sure a team will take anything that can start getting them back into things. Looking with that drone, I guess, not quite hitting the right place, but they see the the doorway being reinforced there for a second. But sadly, no kill to come through onto Chaoxis, who is down to about 2/3 of his HP, but nothing he'll be losing sleep over.
It's definitely not too much of an issue for him. Just has to play a bit more passive now, maybe not go for every single peek he can find. As Secret are really willing to make this push happen from study. It's Expo and Hive on this side. Draven will be below. Let's get a Prano. So there's a lot of, well, control hoping to be obtained right here by Secret from this on the southern side. As in the meantime, Durza will be pushed back slowly by all the pressure coming down. Flashbangs being tossed in, will be fully blind, but able to relocate himself into safety. As smoke canisters being tossed by Shinka, just to slow down that push just for a little bit, as B4 gets the first kill into KS. Just the roamer we know and like him to be. However, Draven was ready to go for a refrag, and that brings it back on 4-4.
Good reaction from Draven as well to move himself from playing down by those south stairs and instead move himself up to catch the perpetrator red-handed. P4, one of the big fraggers that we always speak about for this side of Tempra, has been removed nice and early. Speaking of removal, though, Secret are without many of their drones left here, and we still have about 1 minute and 20 to play when they got themselves down to these final 2 remaining. Now with 60 seconds, they have held onto them at the very least. But the big question is, if you're having to rely on Draven here to be on the Iana to give you the information you need to go for a push, is it strictly going to be enough? As you mentioned earlier on your cast, Hap, if they get shot out, it does take quite a while for them to respond. So if you lose it here, guess what? It's probably not going to find itself coming back alive before the round ends.
No, definitely not. So you need to be careful. You need to use it at the right very moment. As Shinka spots at the head there, but will not be able to hit the shot yet. Follows it up with one and his last Toxic Babe right there. Meaning he has no more stall potential left. Expo will be able to pick up. Chaos is there, and that leaves only Durza and Shinka alive. This 2-4 situation. There's only 20 seconds left. The time is slowly ticking down. As the announcer calls it in, it's going to be the kill from Draven to start things off. We're down onto Expo though. That will be making sure that the diffuser will not be planted. Will be staying alive right here, dealing a bunch of more damage, but as he gets flanked from the actual hallway, from the rotation they make themselves, it's Hive with the last kill. As you see him run with that Magnum, make sure that he makes ground quickly. And a Secret to pick up the first round.
These are some of the reasons why I love watching Secret, right? Is everything together was just pieced step by step in that round. It was make sure no one was playing on 90. We had some coverage of that coming out of the Nomad early, I believe. Get themselves down towards study, clear Durza, who was playing at the top of the south stairs, take control of that area of the map, force everyone back with flashes and more utility, and then just start finding picks as Tempra start trying to move around and find angles to potentially catch members of Secret out. But even when they do find someone out, with P4 on their own, for example, there's a trade that comes through literally 2 seconds later out of someone else on the Secret lineup, and they just made sure all of their bases there were covered. Really good round for them. We now head up towards trophy and stat tree. It's always good to start off with an attacking round win.
It's definitely good to start your day off with an attacking round win on a map like Villa, knowing that there's going to be 2 Heartbreachers banned, which will make it significantly harder to get in some of these sites. So what Secret do was open up what they could. and use the rotations that were made by Tempra to take them out eventually. And well, Secret is kind of looking for a bit of revenge right here as well, right? Because they basically were top 4 of Challenger League Season 11, whilst Tempra basically on top continuously without actually being challenged really by any of these teams. And as Secret managed to make it in at the very last matchup of the whole Challenger League, they're right now into European League with their, well, #1 counterparts. And it's up to them right now to show that they actually are better prepared right now. So that first attacking round win is definitely going to be helping them as well for the rest of this match. Let's hope they can get some extras in.
I mean, Tempra are regarded as a team that, I mentioned earlier on, are a firecracker team. They like to do creative, exciting things. We see them running things like the Amory quite a lot when it comes to things like Consulate. They love Lion for playing the Roma Hunter game, and when they're the ones on defense, they're the ones who like to get out in the map and cause a bit of trouble. And I thought maybe coming into here, we might see something along those lines coming in. But the problem is, when you're restricted from moving from something as simple as that through Astro to a bullet hole that you just saw get set up just a couple of seconds ago, it's really going to put a dent in the sails there, and you will not be playing as aggressively as you might do normally. They have still got someone at the bottom of Astro stairs, mind you, so maybe there's hope for Durza here to cause a bit of trouble. But knowing how Secret like to play things, this should be very, very simple for them to be able to drone out and identify what it is they need to do in response.
As soon as they get that one entry right here, they're just going to be slowing it down just a bit more. Make sure they're not making any rush decisions. That's kind of the strength of Secret as well, where their tactics come into play. Impact will be used to get rid of the shield that might have been protecting Durza right here. As he is walking up a little bit on these stairs to be a bit more aggressive onto that bathroom door, hoping that someone will be walking in. That will happen soon. As he gets some pre-fires down, but it's actually Draven to get that kill in. Yana moving through, not the Gemini, but the actual human. Able, with the G36C ACO, to get that kill on the board. And well, that's 2 right now in favor of Secret.
Chaoxis. Oh, they didn't anticipate that with the flank drone. They should have known someone might come running up there. We spoke about Tempra a second ago being this aggressive team that like to get off site and cause a bit of trouble. This is 2 kills now that they've lost in the space of about 10 seconds that has undone all the hard work they did in the first 2 minutes of this round. It's unfortunate, but now I give some advantage over to the side of Tempra. The best thing, I guess, going in Secret's way right now is that Shinka is only down to 1 more smoke canister. That may yet come back to bite them as we go into the final 50 seconds. And there's the final one.
Yeah, that's the final one indeed, meaning no more stall available, just gunfights to close things out right now. However, that is something that we kind of commend the likes of Tempra for. So Tempra might have an opportunity right here of managing to actually get this round in. They have some crossfires ready, they have the plays and contact ready as well. All they need right now is to actually find out where the push is going to be coming from, and it seems like it will be from both master bedroom and the bathroom. This Draven is tossing in some grenades right now. Prano is ready to support as well. This grenade might be actually, well, no, actually did not do a single point of damage onto Shinka, who's laying prone in that same doorway. Draven unaware on where to push right now, but it's a kill to come in on the likes of Secret. Tempra will be finding one. It's going to be go for a refrag, gets one, but doesn't spot the one on the ground right there. It's only up to Prano now, and the likes of Secret gets one to start things off, but needs to go for the plant with only 4 seconds left. There's no way he can find it. The Jaeger swings wide, and it's Chaoxis to get the last one, and meaning Tempra are now trading that round.
There's good movement from Chaoxis in this round as well. We spoke earlier on around him replacing Durza. Once he died on Astro stairs, Chaoxis replaces him, finds a kill, rotates straight back downstairs and up red to rejoin his team, and gets that final kill to close out the round as well. So good for him to not get so aggressive and cheeky, I guess, in the mid-round. On the side of Secret, they were the ones in control to start things off, but it kind of came to a halt once they lost a couple of members in the mid-round, and we saw how it ended, them having to take a bit of an explosive entry in towards the sites and trying to force out gunfights. So probably in their books there, that wasn't the best ending to a round that it could have been. It does put the score up at 1 apiece. Was going towards Aviator and Games down towards the south once more. Let's not forget, Secret had a very good attack onto this site back in round number 1. Basically played it entirely by the book, and Tempra were left completely lost and unable to respond.
Attackers need to locate
and I might have, however, figured out what actually went wrong. I might be able to work on that right now, make a little bit of an adaptation into their setup, or maybe their playstyle, which would force them to actually keep a hold of this side. And this right now kind of stands out. You only see the Bennett reinforcing one of these walls right here, so that tells me that Shinka is going to be opening up the left side of this study wall, as that is still soft. They might be creating a long angle right there, putting a shield possibly inside the vault door. to play right behind it. Use that as a little pocket mirror window. Try to go aggressive onto the likes of Secret like that if they want to push from study. Because if you have that open and you have that angle, there's no way going to be able to reach into bar.
Not a whole lot's really going to change here for Secret. It's my fear from this setup we're seeing coming out. It is very static, and this is the curse that we saw come through in the game earlier on today. I forget who it was that played on Villa already. Really should be remembering this one. I think it was in the first game, actually, of Empire versus Na'Vi. The only couple of rounds that we saw Empire coming out on top on the attack were when they were pushing in towards Aviator and Games, because Na'Vi played quite static on site. And there wasn't really all that much work for Empire to be doing otherwise. They were just like, well, we know downstairs is pretty clear. We can just send one down there to keep a flank drone on the go. Otherwise, worry about actually pushing into the site itself and picking off the members of Na'Vi one by one. We might yet see the same come from Secret here if Tempra keep on playing his passive. We can see Draven is underneath, and let's not forget, he has grenades. He could potentially find a couple of free kills for his team from below, as there is no one on the side of Tempra to contest him while he's down here.
No, not yet at least. We might see a late flank to come in, something that Tempra really loves to do. But right now it looks like everybody's actually located near or around the site. Chaos is being the one that's furthest out, really. As Draven is still playing below, managed to do a lot of damage into Shinka. A single grenade could be ending one of these lives. These gentlemen on the likes of Tempra. And he has two of them, so all he needs right now is just information to guide his throw as it deals about 50% of damage, well, even more onto P4. That's the first one of his grenades used. Into, well, pretty good effect, so to say. Could have been better, but it's a good start.
Secret a little static right now, just kind of doing the intel collection I expect on the drones. They've got one still playing up towards the north, might see a late round flank coming in from the master side. Otherwise, it is a push in from the east, trying to find their way up these south stairs. In this case, there is still one holding, and there's a couple of shields spaced out at the top as well. There we go. Chaos with a great shot onto Durz. It is going to clear that area out. Still going to burn a bit of utility to remove those shields, and you're still having that clock being run down by Shinka on the smoke. So no panic. I think that's the second grenade coming out from the other side. So hopefully, they're at a spot where they should be able to sit quite easy here, Tempra, and just wait for the push to come in.
I like how they have a pre-placed smoke on that shield every single time. Like, as soon as the player falls there, instantly Shinka pops it to slow down a potential push from the likes of Secret. However, if you do that twice, it will be pretty... like, people will know what's going to be happening, right? So they're not just going to be pushing up to just wait for the smoke to be executed, and not a single point of damage will be done. There's a Gemini right there, will be spotted, basically not getting a single... well, human worth of information out of it, so they're still clueless of where these players of Tempra are, whether they're even on site or not. As Cass will be dealing with the motion sensor, but two of the last smoke canisters of Shinka now have been used. Before gets a response, gets a second response as he's just thrown right here next to the door, waiting for the likes of Secret to walk in. Keoxys gets the kill onto Expo. It's Shinka to follow up. It's only left to Draven now. He spots the butt but cannot hit it. Managed to get one into the vault, but his life ends there. It's Tempra to win round number 3 as B4 cleans it up. What a huge round of him.
A little bit slower that time round, admittedly. It came round to P4 causing a bit of trouble from Aviator and pushing his way inside a study, baiting out the members of Secret, only to push in and find themselves being shut down again. And I understand the intent there. You want to push after you've just lost someone inside a study because they're probably still trying to rebase themselves inside a site. Might not be in the most super ideal position at that time, but thankfully it is P4 in the right spot and he's the one who nets the kill. Going into dining and kitchen then, downstairs going to be the focus. Curious to see if there is a vertical focus coming out of Secret or if instead we're going to see something more horizontally based coming through. I'd expect to see Pirano here bringing out the charges on the Zofia rather than something like the Claymore. If not, then at least there is the Ash and the Zofia in tandem to make that happen.
All right. Tempra right now will find their second round. AVG have been returned, and Kitchen will be the next. Now, Secret in the past, especially in Challenger League, have shown that they are very well aware on how to attack this bomb site. This is... it always looks a bit messy, but they managed to get quite a lot of rounds out of it. So I'm kind of interested to see whether or not they managed to improve on that strategy. Or if it's going to be like a very messy round with a lot of kills going left to right, but eventually, well, Secret to clutch one out.
It'll come down to it, but there is a bit of work going on the upstairs already from Tempra. So they are aiming to, I think, have some kind of contest coming from below. I can't imagine we'll see them all holding upstairs in this case, maybe outside of the Jaeger and the Alibi. Right now, there are still 4 of them on the upstairs, and I think it's just getting ready for this to come through. Very often, you'll see teams, or at least we used to, They would hold the top floor, and then simply drop their way through a hatch when the heat got a little too hot, when they couldn't stay in the frying pan anymore. It was time to get out of there and get yourself safe back onto site, ironically into kitchen in this case. Let's see how this assault goes in from Secret. Going to start out inside, onside of the master bedroom. Starts going to push in from here. Let's see if this works out. If they try and space any more out and try and go for different angles, it's always good to have some pressure on the downstairs as well as the top floor. So maybe you're going to see someone looking to hold an angle on the downstairs just to try and restrict the movement, whilst the rest on the upstairs try and get to work on opening these floors up and trying to either squeeze the defenders to stop them from moving or find early kills in the round.
Well, first minute is about to be ran out as B4 holding on a shield right there. Knows people will be coming in soon as Secret is looking to take control of the master bedroom right here, and then P4 decides to go aggressive, something he normally does really well. If he managed to pick up a kill and safely return back to his shield, that could be super huge for the rest of his team. But it's going to get blasted out by the Nomad. No, the air jump right there. It's Hive to get that kill. Nothing right there to actually trade him back, and that means a lost frag for the likes of Tempra. They lose the entry. No one was there to recover it. And that means they now have to either slow it down or be a bit more aggressive to, well, return the favor.
Raven's expecting this run out from Void to be a thing here. He is holding close and almost daring someone maybe to push into the door itself so he can pick them off. But unfortunately for him, that doesn't appear to be a plan for anyone right about now. Instead, they've got the way in towards Pantry here and start to find their way through. Upstairs control, I don't think is a worry for them anymore. They do have one more member running around somewhere. I'm not quite sure exactly where he is, but here comes the potential contest. Raven spacing himself up. There might be a drone watching this flank here, so they know there's someone playing inside. Maybe not quite, otherwise a pre-fire no doubt would be on the agenda. They've got a couple of drones still in back pockets, so they don't have to make this risky. They can, if they want to, hold back and maybe make use of either the decoy or these drones. They are all out on the field, mind you, some might be set up in flank watch positions here rather than being strictly based in for a push-in or a breach-in. There it is, they know where he is. Going to try and go aggressive on towards the door, will win that fight. And that's Hype getting shut down. Boy, taking the first kill for his team this round.
That is now that Nomad of the board. No more airships being deployed if they weren't already. See the Secret instantly wanting to return on that. So Prano is rotating around. And with that, Sophia hoping to be able to respawn its KS in the meantime, though. That will be able to finish him off. But instant trade from Keoxys from above to come in. Meaning that the top floor control still in favor of Tempra. They have it in their hands right here. They cannot give this up because this is huge. He has eyes on the breach. He has eyes on everything. A secondary jab will go off. That will at least give away his position, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's Shinka to get the kill onto Prano. They want to go for the plant right now, but it's Shinka there's actually to go in with the second. And then it's Keoxys to finish things off. It's Tempra just with a quick 3 kills to finish it all off. It's right here. Keoxys portraying the verticality that was given to him by the attack side of this map of Secret. Oh, really dare to contest it actively.
Slightly worried, to be fair. I mean, Secret was seeing the same kind of signs coming out of them as what we saw from them in their game against BDS the other day on Oregon. She's looking a little bit hesitant at times, not quite sure of when to pull the trigger and go for it. And sometimes when they do, as you saw at the very end of that round, 3 or 4 kills flying very quickly over to the side of Tempra as that clock becomes the 6th man on their team. I'm wondering where this kind of snappy Secret that we saw back in round number 1 is. Maybe they're coming up against things they aren't necessarily expecting. Tempra moving a little too much for their liking. You saw the 2 air jabs being played upstairs inside of the bathroom, which suggests to me that they wanted to take control upstairs. They wanted to prevent them getting flanked while they were taking control of, say, Master and Closet and open the floor up. But eventually jumped off that plan entirely and focused on going downstairs. So things not going super well in the last few rounds for them. I want to see that team that we saw back in round number 1 stepping back up to the table and taking some attacking rounds here.
Secret really does need to get a second attacking round in. If Tempra is going to be able to get this up to 1-5, then it will be quite troublesome for them to, well, to strike back. We know Secret, of course, is this team that is, well, outstanding on their attacks. Their attacks are often so coordinated, so thought through, and pretty disciplined as well.
10 seconds to go.
So, like, you would really like to have them pick up 1, maybe 2 more rounds in that attack, so we can get into a very good second half to decide who will be able to take the win home. Of course, history is in favor of Tempra. That's the C4 jump out. No one will be caught by that as they were waiting for it. Durza goes a bit more aggressive as well, but fortunately, no one will be hurt at these first 13 seconds of the round. It's a bit of utility wasted right there, as Secret was just holding off of it. Seemed like they were aware of the fact it might happen. As eventually it did not.
Would have been woeful if they managed to run into that. It would have been very, very uncomfortable. I mean, touching on the attack and defensive round thing, Secret are a team that I regard as a brilliant attacking team. The setups they bring, we saw back in round 1, we've seen it on previous maps, 1 and 2 of this competition so far, their capabilities and prowess. My number one concern comes on the defense. Sometimes they can find themselves getting rushed out and losing more members than necessary to one player on the other side stepping up and going big. So in my mind, if they aren't taking at least 3 rounds on the attack, there is reason to be worried when they go onto the defensive side. So for now, due to see at least one more, I'd say, swinging their side in this half. Once more, a very one-directional attack coming in from the boys. Focusing mainly on the upstairs. You can see Prano hanging out downstairs here, looking to do something on the downstairs. I think he's more looking for the flank drones downstairs to know if someone is trying to do anything particularly cheeky from below, if there's a C4 player down there. Just to safely take over bathroom and also looking towards Astro. So it is very slow and controlled. My question is, though, how slow are you allowed to be until it comes to hurt you? Because last time round, they spent a good minute and a half on this site with control of Astro, not really being able to push forwards.
Just kind of confused. Like, did Europe forget that Thatcher is an actual operator or something? Because you see, they keep on trying to use utility here to, like, rid of these bandit wires. Grenade will do the trick, but, you know, that could also be used to get a kill in. Will now be used to deny void from the bandit trick, but a simple EMP, then you would have had 2 of your grenades left to make sure that you could maybe, well, dig them out of their little fortresses on the side of Tempra. And even though, like, yes, Thatcher is getting banned a lot, but it's kind of available right now. It seems to become like a bit like Mirror, you know? When it's finally up, it doesn't get played.
I think because so many teams get used to playing without the Thatcher, that they're happy bringing like the Ash and the Zofia together and destroying gadgets from below, especially on a map like Villa where most of the flooring is soft. It does mean normally like an IQ might help, and I guess in their case they're saying, you know what, drones are enough, we can find out where these gadgets are and we can destroy them. No doubt P4 on the mute is making a bit of trouble towards those efforts, but at the very least they've managed to do their job and get the wall open once again. I'm somewhat concerned that they're all trying to push into the same angle here, unless we've got Prana looking to make a late round flank up Astro or Red.
Hive will be starting things off, taking down Chaoxis as Voi's getting flashed time and time again, but so far not really being pushed as of yet. Before is playing on trade right here. It's going to be a kill from 2 players right here. Voi with an actual double kill to come in. Shotgun being blasted out. Will be able to hit it twice. That's the down. It's the kill to come through. Only up to Prano now. Moving into Statuary. Will be able to pick up 1, but as the time runs out, it's Tempra to win yet another round right here, and it will put their scoreboard up to 4. Knowing that with 1 more defensive round to go, they have completed their full rotation, and they are confident that they can take Secret on this next one as well.
Tempra looked very, very comfortable so far on the defense. The way that execute came out was exactly as we thought. We saw Prano come charging up red stairs at the very end of the round, and I believe the intent was to have him burst into sight as the rest of the team go for the execute. You arrive at the same time, you get nice crossfires set up. The side of Tempra shouldn't be able to adapt. However, Tempra were very, very quick at snapping out. You saw Blue stepping down from Astro in towards the archway and finding kills into those trying to push through the breach. They were prepared, and Secret sadly couldn't find too many kills in response. It has been in this final round we go down towards Aviator and Gaines, and Clash going to be brought along here. No doubt to cause a bit of trouble and once again try and slow Secret down. Completely understandable given how slow Secret have been playing so far.
Yeah, definitely Secret has been playing quite slow. Tempra have been able to put in the passiveness into their game style. Not peeking anything really until they desperately have to make sure that they should be able to win these rounds. And Secret kind of struggling if they do not get the opening they require to force themselves into that side. And that's kind of a recurring theme. If Secret cannot find their first opening, or just a kill in general, they are really slow in their attacks. That's like the only weakness I can spot so far over the past 3 play days. Like, they really need to get an opening if they want to get their attacks down.
Problem is finding that opening, right? Like, if you're relying on Prano to be the guy who makes it happen in the late round with you, rather than being the guy who's charging in and getting 2 or 3 kills, you know, who is the big impact player for you? And so far today, the answer you probably look at across the scoreboard and say Draven's been that guy. But I worry that the kills he's found so far haven't been the high impact ones that turn into round wins. They've more been the occasional kill here and there and around that ultimately Tempra still take away. It's not super ideal for them, but it does come down to, as we always say about Siege, if you don't win your gunfights, it doesn't matter how well-timed your attack is, how well set up you are for it. If you're losing gunfights, there is nothing much you can do about that, except shoot better, of course.
Yeah, just be better, get good, as people would say. That's the only way you can solve that issue. 2 of these ADSs right there onto this onto these stairs right here. Keoxys is body blocking them, so the grenades and flashbangs that are falling in are not going to be able to start wasting them. But Draven is ready to actually go for it, as it's going to be the battle of the main stairs right here. There's still a clash on P4 available to maybe rotate down just a small bit to assist if a potential push would be to come down. There's a lot of drones, however, being tossed towards the likes of Keoxys. Tries to go for a little bit of a shot here and there, but so far Secret not able to get a reply yet. And you look at that, 3 guns currently aimed towards these main stairs. KS is going to be taking care of the bot wire. Flashbangs are being tossed in. They should surely soon be able to clear it out, but as I said, that Keoxys just rotates out, and all the rest of the utility is just going to be wasted by those 2 ADSs located on those main stairs, and they're not going to be able to find a single kill out of it.
Well, so far, because there's no real need for the side of Tempra to get particularly aggressive here. There's a bit of work being done by Secret. They are starting to get themselves into the kind of positions they want. Bottom and 90 now assume control with air jabs going down as well. But again, it's same as last round. It came down to the actual pushing towards site. They got barbecued by P4 once he pushed his way through study. No doubt being a bit more mindful of it this time round. Air jab should no doubt be on the door. Indeed it is, it looks like. So we shouldn't see a similar setup coming out this time from someone else looking to charge out. Maybe someone like Keoxys, who right now is out towards 90 corridor instead. It is a slow start, 45 seconds left, and they've still got to look to deal with P4 on this clash. It could be so problematic in the dying seconds.
In the meantime, I believe you see Prano rotating all the way around, going up to the 90 window, hoping to put up some pressure there as well. KS spots out the feet, but won't be able to hit them yet. There's a little bit of a ping, like someone is in this room. You got to be careful with me. There's Need Prano right there now, onto 90. We'll be pushing through. This is what they need. They need to go from both these sides, because they're not going to be able to just get it down from pushing one. And it's Keoxys prone here again. It's KS to get the entry kill. They want to continue from here, but it's Keoxys to pick up 1, pick up 2 right here. There's a third one. Does he know? It doesn't seem like it as of yet. We'll be able to get that one as well. Draven to go down for one kill to go in. Keoxys completely shutting them down right here. Speak to his pistol. It's Prano, the last man standing, up against the Cloud in a 1-on-2 situation. It's not the ace to come through, but very well played there by Keoxys. Basically, single-handedly carrying that round in as the execute started to happen. That could have gone wrong in many different ways.
Perfect play coming out of Keoxys as well. You identify that if you stay laying where you are as they push around the corner one by one, someone is going to pre-fire you and you are going to die. What do? You get aggressive in those situations. You push into those coming onto you. You saw him first look right, pull back, and then look left and manage to find all of those kills. You are the one then with the advantage, because you are the one swinging around these corners at your chosen pace. And all the side of Secret could do was fire back. Brilliant play there to close things out. And that's been another round, not unlike the previous one, where it has turned into an all-out bloodbath at the bitter end, with Secret pushing most of their players through a single doorway or a single breach. It becomes a little bit easy for Tempra to focus their fire, and they sit at 5-1 after that first half. It's looking like this could be over quickly, unless we see a very different Secret come out on defense. My biggest fear, as I said earlier on, is that Secret I regard as an attacking team. They like it when they have pace, and they're the ones doing the coordinating, when Tempra are the ones who might come at them with pace here and prevent them being able to roam with things like the Nomad. This could hurt.
Right now, Tempra onto their attacks, and well, they are a team we know of that could be very effective on their attacks as well. They just drive that spear deep inside the map straight away, get some early control, cut the map in half, clean out the first part, then go up to the attack. They're really effective in the way they do things here. I hope Secret is going to be ready to counter that off by using some effective roamers. Here you see again Keoxys. That huge 4K right here, all from the single door in games room. Getting it down, getting the second down. It was only up to Prano at that point, but he was not really near to go for that refrag, so the ace wasn't given at the end. But still, impressive performance.
You see how they set things up a bit differently here. For Secret, it was very one-dimensional for the most part, pushing in from the same direction, as we said, always ending up inside the same doorway or breach. Tempra looks like a bit of a spread coming in the north side building here, looking to contest onto Astro window, something we didn't see too much of earlier on, admittedly. This should be the big difference for them, is a bit more of a spread assault.
All right, grenade being cooked, will be tossed from below before, not able to hit someone, but at least they know the desk is clear. They gotta be careful as Prano is looking to go for a little bit of a flank right here. He knows someone is on these Astro stairs. But in the meantime, we'll be taking down Expo. D4 seems to know now as well, especially with that drone to come in. Brano will be falling back.
Yep.
Oh, he's actually coming back again. Look at that.
He's
He's not scaring
95,000.
off.
I think he's worried about that push maybe coming down there. As soon as you see the drone coming through, it's very likely that you're going to see an attacker swing around that corner and just pre-fire the hell out of that room and try and catch you before you can retreat away. So I think it was the good call to fall back to a more defensible location. The thing is now you're going to see the side of Tempra being very aware that he is downstairs below them. Just be careful that he doesn't come up too soon and cause a bit of trouble. Trouble being said, it's those guys making the trouble right now with a couple of kills coming their way, or 3 kills to be precise. As a trade coming back from KS, big time though as he swings round and fires 2, but sadly Voy is on the window covering that location. Great cover by him, and it's all down to Captain KS here to win things back for them. Goes for the spray down and will get a 3rd kill, but it doesn't prevent the plant, nor does it win them the round. Tempra, with a very decisive attack and a very quick one at that, will put themselves up to match point 6-1 over Team Secret.
6-1 indeed. And they will put themselves up to 5 consecutive match points. 5 points or 5 rounds, where Tempra can find themselves yet again victorious over Secret on a map like Villa. And they have the opportunity to do it better than they did last time around. But Tempra, most importantly, they want to go for those full 3 points. The round differential probably wouldn't even matter to them, as long as they get the win in the end.
Oh boy. BDS are clearly rubbing off on Tempra. It's passing between the French, what can we say? They're in a spot here where it looks like actually the same story as what we saw in CL Season 11, where Tempra finished in 1st place ahead of everyone else a couple of weeks early. Secret scrapping their way through to make it into the European League on the final Playday, with a little bit of help admittedly from Penta slipping up against Sisu to enable Secret to collect enough points at the time called August, of course, to pass through into the European League. Does look like even against their former competition all the way back from inside of Challenger League, the same storylines still persist. I struggle to see here how they can hold on. It's going to be a case of defending Aviator games with aggression, I think, here, getting up in the face of Tempra and stopping them being able to do their game plan. The biggest fear for me is we've already seen Secret try that. You saw Prano on the roam trying to cause a bit of trouble, but by the time he kind of decided enough time had passed, he could get back up to playing aggressively. Already, 3 of his team members were dead. It's just a sad story, but no one is really hitting shots here for the side of Secret today.
All around him were familiar faces, as Secret right now need to be flawless if they want to still be able to get a point out and not be drawn up last with Chaos. Because right now, they are only on 2 points. Tempra doing a little bit better. Looking right here to get their next couple of 3 points in to show that, you know, what happened before in the likes of Na'Vi, of Empire, can also happen right here with this Secret, with this Tempra. Just instantly push through, show that you have the potential, and end up top 4. Maybe even, you know, right now not an international pro league with the mini majors. Just win the mini major. It's basically the same thing, showing that you're graduated top of your class of Challenger League and going to be there to win it eventually. But first minute has passed, and Tempra slowly starting to take the control. They need to go for an execute.
All about this gradual control with Tempra, and no, it's almost like a bulldozer that keeps on moving forwards, and it's like, you can stand in its way, you can try and break it down from the sides if you want, but it's still going to keep on moving forwards is the biggest problem. It seems tough to slow them down. However, Secret have gone for that in this round with both the smoke and the Goyo being brought along. That's a question of can they do enough to hold them back. You've even got Hive looking to contest on 90, but the problem is, look at how many drones are still flying in from Tempra and not being picked off by the side of Secret. They've got the intel they need. Managing to find themselves in the spot. I think one did just get picked off. There we go. They found another one as well. So they are starting to shut this intel down, but it's still enough provided here. They know what's going on. This might be the 3rd drone they lose here on 90 if they're not careful, mind you. Nope, Shinka will keep it alive. It's Voy who finds himself trying to go aggressive, but Draven springs up from behind the shield and will shut him down. I think this is one of the first rounds in a while now that we have seen Secret take the upper hand early on.
Yeah, it definitely has been. Just kind of worried why there was no one there to actually try and follow up onto Voy. As right now Shinka is here, but it's a bit too late. He could have been actually able to cleanly take off Draven there as he went for the secure kill onto Voy. Did not happen in the end, but Tempra not really scared too much. They keep on pushing, they keep on rolling right here. They know they have to deal with KS on top of those main stairs. C4's now being tossed in. It's going to be the Goyos to be exploded as well. C4 potentially being tossed over. No, not yet on the likes of Draven. Just waiting. There we go. The rip comes in. All he needs to do is release and press that button once again, and potentially he will get a kill out of it. Because this last smoke canister is being used. It looks like a plant behind the vault door is going to be it. And that means Kioxis will have to hurry. He needs to quickly cut himself into the vault if they want to be able to get this. But look at this position right here for Prano. This is such a good position. As the time runs out, they need to go in now. But he's going to be here to potentially stall this out even longer. Gets one kill. It's going to be Kess with another. It's before Durza left now. They need to go for the cover, but they don't know someone is in study. And this is only up to Durza now on a 1-on-4. It's Secret to win the round. They managed to bring it back, at least for now. As that is one of the match points denied. But still many more to go.
Taste of their own medicine there, it feels like. It was Tempra the ones who ran down to almost nothing on the clock, and Secret who were holding a variety of angles to spray them down as they came through a one-directional burst in towards the site. Well played by Secret to draw that one out. We thought that might be the game plan when we saw the smokes and the Goyos coming along. Turns out only the smokes were required. Came up maybe a little bit early, but ultimately gets them around on the board. 6-2 we sit at, and we now go back up towards trophy and statue. Let's see if this time round Secret can hold on. It was Prano on the roam downstairs on the bandit that we saw, roaming up a little bit later on, being picked off by Voy. Going to change that one away instead to playing on the Mozzie here, and I assume part of that is to make sure he's a little bit harder to hunt down, and actually so we can see the drone work slowed down from the side of Tempra, which in that last round, as we mentioned, lots of drones being focused on 90, although no real push is going in that direction.
2-6. Secret. How much do you have in your fuel tank to make sure that Tempra is not going to be able to close it out right here, because they definitely have that big advantage over you. Going to be bringing the same kind of lineup, really, as it worked quite well last time around. But how well will it work when you're going to trophy stat tree? Where are you going to be deploying these Goyos? Where are you going to be deploying those magnets to stop a potential execute from happening? Last time they came from the bathroom and from Astro, so I would assume there's going to be a lot more attention right there from Secret at this moment in time. They can at least hold on to it a bit longer. You see two ADSs, a shield being deployed. Expo playing there with the Amai, able to, of course, aid himself by tossing up these magnets on the roof. Seems like a last-second change been called, as the shield has been removed and deployed behind their A-bomb site.
The shield inside of Astro makes a lot of sense, right? Big black box there, bulletproof, can sit behind it very safely. And if you do get a lot of undesirable attention coming in towards Astronomy, chuck a few magnets out and slow the attackers down, because things aren't so simple for them then. You may even see a Mozzie or two dedicated up there, but I expect a lot of those right now are focused towards the south. That's where Tempra are looking to come in to break apart those who are holding down here. Very common to see two roamers. I know Hype is down here. I'm not sure who he is joined by in this case. Looks like they've got drones in. It's going to be KS. So Expo even holding on 90. This is quite aggressive, actually, as a extended hold coming out of Secret. Expo's got to be so careful here if he wants to back his way back towards site, because you might just find that Chaoxits managed to find an angle onto him and bring him down relatively comfortably. You even got Prano playing downstairs, so it could yet be a C4 play from downstairs at the same time. Very much trying to force the side of Tempra to get aggressive on towards the south and hopefully take a fight before they even get towards the site. As that first kill comes through, making a second, there's that C4 kill, but 3 kills for Anti-Fly their way. That puts a massive advantage over here to the side of Secret as they go into a 4 versus 2.
It's going to be Kioxis right here to take the gunfight with the Legion. It's going to be the turnaround, but it's going to be Expo to actually win out on that one, leaving it all up to Shinka. Tempra had the right idea right here, trying to go for the pincer onto AVG, but they weren't able to win the gunfights just yet. As soon as they droned it out, they knew landing was safe. At that moment in time, Expo actually appeared up there, managed to create another crossfire and another angle that they would have to worry about. They didn't know of. And the surprise was there. There's going to be 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, and I believe Tempra might be going to use this time. It is 1-4 to either discuss what they want to do next, or to let Shinka try and work his magic, see if he can actually get this 1v4 clutch in. Is he going to be able to start it off with the first one? Doesn't probably know. Someone is in this bathtub right here. It's Expo that is going to be playing a peekaboo right now as he stands up. Will not be able to get the kill yet. Eventually will. It's the headshot to finish it off with Secret to get yet another round. And as we progress, it is going to get closer and closer to overtime, but still plenty of chances for Tempra to finish this off.
There are. I mean, it would be a miracle comeback for Secret if they managed to force it all the way back up to a draw. My heart would bleed for them a bit, actually. The number of draws they'd have coming through is quite ridiculous when you think about it. With how things are shaped up for them so far, it hasn't been the... I want to say the cleanest run. They had a draw against Na'Vi on Oregon. They had a draw against Vitality on Villa. They played that game very, very well. A few disconnects in the second half, unfortunately, gave a pretty big sway over to the side of Vitality, as it was Secret with the momentum coming out of the first half. And then just the other day, of course, saw them come up against the formidable BDS, who have yet to be defeated. And that was a 7-1 to BDS over on Oregon. So it hasn't been, as I said, the best start. It's been plagued by draws so far. I believe they're currently joint bottom of the table with Chaos. A point here today would at least lift them off that bottom. I think, though, they would still end up sat in 8th or 9th place, regardless, tied likely with another team.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look good here for Secret, knowing that at least, well, they're not going to be able to take 3 points home here today. Might have wanted to go for that, but it seems like the Challenger League team of Tempra so far is too strong. They still have the opportunity to draw, though. That is going to be their main priority. It's Tempra. All they need to do is try and close this out. They are on Kitchen now. This is the tertiary bomb site on the likes of Secret, meaning there's going to be a lot of opportunity here for Tempra to take it if they want, if only they approach it the right way.
If only. I mean, the biggest issue so far has been time, right? I mean, for both sides, that's looked to be the issue, is the time has forced them all to push through one hatch or one doorway, and the other team has been waiting there like crocodiles with their jaws gaping wide, just saying, come on, step into the trap. And before you know it, there are 3 or 4 angles all lighting up on them. I liked in that last round, I mentioned it earlier on at the time, was that how Secret had someone playing downstairs, Prano on the Mozzie, with a C4 contributing in towards getting kills when Tempra did go for a push in towards Study. And it's the small things like that, yeah, it's only a single kill. It's the fact that it's a kill that doesn't come down to taking an actual gunfight. You might even call it an unfair kill. They knew exactly when the push was coming through because of the intel being fed by the roamers anyway. And there was no real attempt by Tempra to go and clear him out on the downstairs. And it's always a conscious choice you make, I think, when you ignore roamers, is do you want to leave them to their own devices, and do you really fancy getting caught out by them? It's a lose-lose situation. You lose time or you lose lives. Go for it.
This is what we're talking about. Typical Tempra. Just as soon as they have control, they send in people as deep as they can. Yeah, like, just go deep. Oh, that's unlucky. P4 being picked up right there by Prana. It's a huge entry right here. He wanted to pull out a grenade to potentially grenade these red stairs, but he's not going to be able to find a single kill out of that one as he loses his life. And with that too, and their only grenades will be off the board. It's going to be Tempra now. They'll have to rely purely on their aim. As well, there is also no heart breach available, meaning that they will be having to go through these little choke points or try to push them out from above. As long as Hive is still here, I don't really see that as an option.
It's just constant traps being set up by Secret around the map. It's like guerrilla warfare here. They're just saying, you know what? We probably can't take a direct firefight and always come out on top, as we saw in the first half. That was a bit unfair because we were pushing in. You were the ones defending. This time around, how about we just kill you before you even get inside the building? It's another similar story here. Dairy try and go for a jump out here. I almost dare him to try and be aggressive. Gets a couple of shots in towards Voy, but won't bring him down. That should at least alert the members of Tempra as to where he is and what he's trying to do. And hopefully shouldn't find themselves walking headfirst, literally, into this gunshot, into this line of sight.
He just tried to go for a little bit of a pre-fire there, but he was, of course, prone on the ground. So that missed him eventually, as the diffuser now has been dropped. There's going to be a lot of time wasted on the likes of Tempra as well. They need to recover that. That's going to be costing them some time. C4 is being tossed out. 24 seconds left on the clock. They're counting down. Keoxys goes down as well. It's a 5-on-2. The Lady of Durza be able to at least find Prana, but he's going to be left all alone right here. It's going to be Secret that will be continuing their comeback, their valiant effort, as right now they will be unlocking the primary site again as they manage to win Kitchen off of some beautiful frags to come through.
Well, it feels like everything I've been saying today, including my predictions, has been totally off the mark. Secret, I always said, are a team that I love watching because their attacks are so good. They're very structured. It's always very well approached. It's normally quite timely. Today was not the case, as it was a 5-1 victory to Tempra on the defense, but in this second half, we are seeing a rally on the defensive side for Secret. We're currently climbing their way back up as well. You'll see across the whole scoreboard, everybody weighing in today. There's no one man dragging them forwards. Everyone is making themselves known. And you know what Tempra said? You know, what did Vitality do to us to stop us having fun the other day? Oh, right, they picked Monty a bunch. Yeah, stops people having fun. Stop people being able to kill us. How about we do exactly the same thing here against Secret? This could get ugly if Secret were not anticipating this setup. We've seen what Monty can do quite a lot in the last week. We saw it between G2 and Na'Vi. We saw Vitality bring it out to almost flawless execution against Tempra on Clubhouse. Now clearly Tempra thinking now is our time to give it a go.
Yeah, and if you're looking at it, they have some shields both on the Goyo and on KS and Expo to try and slow them down just a small bit. They also have these smokes and, well, 2 nitros available, so there should be plenty of utility on the likes of Secret to make sure that that Monty will not survive long. However, of course, you never know how Tempra will be playing this one, and if Secret is going to be aware of the fact of the existence even of this Monty. If they don't know, they might be not really utilizing the utility, putting it into the exact same places as where they actually want to have it if they're playing against the Monty. And of course they can't know because it's a 6-pick to come in. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing some relocation to appear as soon as they will be aware of the existence of this Monty.
At least with the smoke of the Goyo, it's not the end of the world, right? Like, C4 sat inside or 2. They've got 2, they've got a couple of shields they can burn through as well. It will make things a bit more tough for Void to be able to push through those. So fair enough. The one thing I'm kind of clocking on their side right now is there is a pretty distinct lack of shield removal. You're looking towards P4 here on the sledge to be doing that kind of work. And if he can't get rid of those shields, the crucial ones that are going to block the Monty's path, this could get pretty ugly for the side of Tempra. And for the first time, well, not the first time, but one of the first times, you will see a team being unable to deal with shields that could really impede the round.
They only really have these 2 frag grenades, or well, 1 frag grenade to work with to try and take care of this utility. There's 4 shields on the board right here on Secret. You only have 1 grenade to try and deal with them, but on the other hand, you also have 2 ADSs and a bunch of magnets all located around the map that will make it basically impossible for you to get rid of those shields. At least they take steady control right now, something they didn't have the last time around. I think that's quite key to get going. However, Prano is going to be able to start off with a kill onto P4. Instant trade to come out. Yeah, indeed, the smoke's gone. That's a huge one. And especially if you look at that shield located into the actually aviator room, is located not in a position where it can directly deny the plant, especially not if they want to be going for just a reverse shield plant. So as soon as they get control of Draven, they should be coming right for Tempra. Indeed, they keep on getting these C4s in. Void now with a pistol kill. With 1 minute 13 on the clock. Secret need to be careful as it might just slip out underneath them.
Well, Prana's up on 90 and Draven's playing on Aviator at the minute. A bit of time here for Tempra to take it nice and slow and just kind of find out where these last 2 are before looking for what the play is going to be. So in my mind, they've still got a bit of vertical control if they want it with Shinka. We already saw that grenade, the C4 kill, coming out from below. So it could be a case of finding a scrap on the downstairs if we see Prana choose to rotate back down there again. Not that he should at this point. The whole aim is to try and deal with this Monty, keeping guessing. Because as soon as that Monty goes into a 1 versus 1, he calls on a bit of help and things start falling apart. Here we go now. Unfortunately, it's all Draven by himself. We tend to know how these ones go. All they've got to do is sit and watch the angle. Almost managed to find it down, but misses it out just about. Plant is down, and this is the impossible situation for the poor man in Draven. Has the C4 remaining, but probably wants to try and save that one for the Monty. Going to swing out and try and find a spray down. Just about misses the buck into the air jab. Gets sprayed down. Tempra will take this one 7-4. It was close. It looked like a comeback was on the way for Secret. But I'll be damned if anyone can stop a Monty here in the EU League.
Yeah, Monty seeming to be so effective in the EU. Well, no one been able to actually stop it yet, and I really like how Void was so patient on that last one. It was a 1-on-3. He wasn't even being watched out, but he just kept his shield extended, even though when the air jab came in, he gave the kill to his teammate right there. He didn't want to risk anything whatsoever, and that kind of showed that they were really eager on winning that one. As long as that Monty stays extended in a 1-on-1 situation, there's basically nothing you can do, especially not if there's some other assault rifles there to back you up. And talking about backing up, we got our analysts to back her up.
Thank you so much, Time. It's